You may have heard that duplicate content can negatively impact your website's SEO, but is that true? Here's our latest question. Is duplicate copy bad for my website in the eyes of Google? So the short answer is that having copy on a page on your website that exists elsewhere on the web or also exists elsewhere on your website is frowned upon by Google. Now, Google doesn't directly state that it will come and demote your page every single time in the rankings for being duplicate, but a demotion can happen in certain instances. And the basis for that's really pretty simple. Google believes that every page on the web should have original, unique content and thus give value to visitors. And it wants its search results to also give value to visitors by serving up those great pages. So if two pages have the same or really similar copy, the value of each of those pages is decreased because neither of them really offers anything unique. So Google actually has a guide to SEO that you don't hear much about, but it's actually a really great resource and probably something that we should all reference more often. But this guide directly states, create fresh, unique content, avoid rehashing or copying existing content that will bring little extra value to users. Avoid having duplicate or near duplicate versions of your content across your site. And when it comes to your search results, Google says, duplicate content on a site is not grounds for action on that site unless it appears that the intent of the duplicate content is to be deceptive and manipulates search engine results. In other words, duplicate content might not harm your website, but don't risk it. So we encourage you to avoid copying large amounts of text from one website and pasting it onto one of your web pages. Also, make sure you don't have two pages on your website that have the same or really similar copy. If you think about it, doing so makes you compete with yourself in search results, which isn't ideal. So one of the biggest culprits of duplicate content that we see is industry-specific content services. So we've seen many financial companies, for instance, that use this service because they feel they should be blogging. So this service provides them with articles every month and they copy it and they paste it onto their website. So the only problem with that is that content is handed out to hundreds of different websites of financial companies. So featuring this on one website might benefit some of the visitors that come to see it, but the SEO value is minimal, if not non-existent. So you can copy and paste smaller amounts of text from one website to another or one page to another if you're quoting someone or if you're referencing a sentence or two. And Google acknowledges that there are also cases in which duplicate content is nearly unavoidable. So for instance, I'd say the most common instance we see of duplicate content is blog articles, which often show the same content in multiple formats. So a blog entry could be displayed on the main article listing page, in an archive page, and also on the actual article page itself. So what's the solution for duplicate content within your website? Well, the first step is just audit your site and remove as much of that as possible. And you can do that by searching for the same sentences or phrases within your site, or you can use an auditing tool that's out there. But another solution is called canonicalization. I pronounced that correctly. Basically, canonicalization is telling Google what URL you prefer it features in search. So this is handled by adding code to your site, and specifically the rel equals canonical tag. So for instance, if you have 3 pages on your site with mostly identical content, pages A, B, and C, you can use this code to tell Google, hey, I'm not trying to be deceptive here and game your search rankings. I recognize that these pages are nearly identical and I would like you to feature just page A in search results. So if you don't specify which page to feature, Google will make the decision itself. In fact, Google says, if your site suffers from duplicate content issues and you don't follow our advice, we do a good job of choosing a version of the content to show in our search results. And while that may happen, it's better for you to make that decision instead of Google. Here are a few resources you can use and visit if you're looking for more about this canonical issue and duplicate content. If you'd like us to lend a hand and audit your site for you, looking for duplicate content and helping you with this issue, just let us know. Thanks, and I'll talk to you next time.